Welcome to Minutes by Minute. I'm Elgin Eckel.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we're here to talk about what goes on in the village, the township. You know, those government people that make laws and regulations that affect you out there.
That's right, Elgin. And whether you live in the village of Oxford, the village of Leonard, Addison Township, or Oxford Township, these are the people that you went and elected. And the commissions and the committees that make decisions that directly affect you, whether you chose to go to that meeting or not. And the result can be a taxing
Situation.
That's right.
Very much so. Probably would be. Could be.
And is.
It is. Right. Now, one thing that we do, you mostly do than I do. Anyhow, what you do
see this train
is to
coming down
spread
the
rumors. And so you folks want to pay close attention out there because he'll sneak them in from time to time.
But we'll stay close to the truth as we can.
Yes. And the other thing that you'll learn is that this is a short version of what the meeting usually consists of, which can be running on for how long?
Oh, I've been there for 3 hours sometimes. And well, I call them torches and pitchfork meeting because when people really get interested and oxes are being gored, they all show up.
And you know what? You should attend anyway just to see when the next event is going to happen.
That's right. That's right. And if you want to see the entire thing, you can get on our website, occtv.org. And you can, all the information is in reverse date order. Or if you want to tunnel down to that specific area, like a township meeting or something like that, there's a drop-down menu. Go to Oxford Township, for instance, and everything's there.
Drops to the floor, you pick it back up. Speaking of that, there's humor in every meeting too, so you want to check that out.
That's right.
Yeah, it normally bubbles to the top or floats to the bottom.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Well, let's talk about a couple of meetings that we saw. And the first one we're going to talk about is the Village of Leonard, which was held on, let me see, August 12th.
August 12th.
That was just a couple days ago.
Why? Just a hop, skip, and a jump.
Hop, skip, and a tallywag.
Tallywag.
One of those things. Anyhow, it's always interesting, the meetings. They've got pretty much all the same kinds of problems that they do with larger villages.
Just like real life.
Yeah, except they're a little smaller situations. But did you know that I believe their tax base is like $6 million?
And what does that mean?
Well, they're having a struggle right now in terms of having ends meet, because they're having things like trucks breaking down, from DPW. They have a lawnmower belt that just skipped off the machine.
Sounds like a hand-wrenching decision is about to be made.
Yes, well, that discussion did come up, which, if you need money.
There's one way to get it.
And actually the problem with this is that the village council president doesn't like the idea of raising taxes, and he's pretty much fought it along with other people on the council.
Must be a Republican.
Yeah, could be. And that's why they get things done.
Or not.
Pretty much do. Anyhow, that comes from the fake news, so you have to pay attention to that as well.
No, but when things get tight and the cost of the services you provide become more expensive over time, and possibly the tax base doesn't.
Well, one of the residents actually brought that up and said, you're going to lose some of the benefits that you'd have, because you don't have the funds, to take care of it. One thing called sidewalks, another thing called tree cutting, another thing called just plain here comes the rain.
No, here comes MDOT.
MDOT, with their little pickaxes and their trucks and bulldozers.
Well, like I said,
you got to do it.
Hand-wrenching decision has to be made.
But this actually came along later in the meeting when the folks had an opportunity to talk.
But we digress.
Yes, we did. So anyway, actually, Mr. McDonald, the president, he started out, in this particular meeting saying that, first of all, the Strawberry Festival was quite successful. Everybody enjoyed it, except for the heat and the massive monsoon that came through. Other than that, it went really well.
Well, the monsoon might have been a grace of God, to keep people from getting heat stroke.
You never know. I think Bill Service is doing
Was it that warm?
Oh, yeah, it was hot that day, remember?
Okay. No.
It was 100 degrees. Oh, you weren't there.
No.
You were in with your air conditioning at home. I know.
Maybe I was.
That's how it worked.
Maybe I was immune.
Everybody else was enjoying the heat and the rain. as it poured down. Right?
A true Michigan holiday.
It is, okay. Well, anyway, Mr. McDonald, he said he hopes this doesn't become a standard. He said normally at these strawberry festivals, they either can expect rain or excessive heat, and pretty much had both that day. So,
Well, it's the old story of for open houses or anything else. You put your stake in the ground and hope for the best.
yeah, well, out there, if you put the stake in the ground, you get water.
Well, I know.
This time it would be coming from the ground as well as from the sky. So anyway, they had a lot of fun though. He said it worked out really well. And I believe the committee chair said that they still have $10,000 funded that's waiting to be spent. And they said that won't take long. 9,000 of it is waiting to be sent out.
Were these from leftover funds or funds that were
That's
donated?
the budget.
Okay.
Budget that was in there, and you're right, funds that were also donated.
Okay.
And as a result of this, they said, well, we have about $1,000 left, but that's not a whole lot, for next year's parade. So you folks that like to feel generous, let them know, and they'd be very appreciative if you'd write a little check, for the
And if you don't want to
upcoming
talk to them,
parade
talk to
next
me.
year. Yeah, all right. Why would they want to talk to you?
Hey,
Hey, okay. So that was Strawberry Festival you discussed, and Mary, we want to point out that Mary Lou Sotheby passed away, and she's 100 years old, or was 100
she
years
related to Charlene?
old. That would be her mom.
Oh, really? Oh,
And Charlene serves on this.
she was 102?
No, she was 100.
100. Good set of genes there.
Yeah, I would say so. And actually,
Condolences to Charlene.
yeah, Char is planning on that, keeping those genes too. So it comes good in our family. Another person that passed away is a resident, Dave Edgar, and he passed away, I believe, last week as well. So he wanted to make sure that everybody knew about this. So Mr. McDonald said for a moment of prayer, Char would present the prayer, and that's what was done. And the council members were all present. Mr. McDonald, Mrs. Sotheby, Mr. Arundale, Mr. Swank, or I'm sorry, that's Miss Swank, Judy Swank. And then there's Kennedy and clerk, Cindy Grosskopf, and Judy Verse. Boy, I didn't think I'd ever get through that one. You neither, huh?
You're doing that all by memory, weren't you?
Yes, I was. And boy, that's not working well.
You're
Anyway,
dragging it out slow there.
let's see if I can remember come back right after this. Okay, we shall we?
There's a lot of history to Oxford. Hidden around every corner, deep in every crack, and sometimes right in front of you, waiting to be discovered. If you just dig a little, you'll find the great history of our beautiful town. Welcome to Historic Oxford.
Welcome back to Minutes by Minute. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we are discussing the Leonard Village Council meeting. And some of the items on this was, first of all, the treasurer's report for June. And it was supported, received, and filed. Treasurer's report for July, because they didn't pay those reports or they'll pay that money and get it recorded then. So July was also received and filed. Boy, we're moving along now.
Yep.
Accounts payable.
They got multiple accounts, don't
They got multiple accounts, and they actually had to cover 2 months, June and July. So in June, in the general fund, they paid out $11,439.71. In the major account, also for June, $42.10. Nothing expensed from the local account and nothing expensed from the Mill Park Recreation account.
The major account had much, how much? $42?
$42.10.
Hardly seems like the right name.
Yeah, you can. You know what? You and I have discussed that before.
Yeah, I know.
That seems like it should be turned around the other way, shouldn't it? Huh? That should be the general fund, maybe. But general funds have general,
Things.
a lot more general things than major things, apparently, huh? Is that how it works?
Goods and services, how's that?
Good, that'll work. Okay. Anyhow, they had to also pay bills for the July expense, and for the general fund, get this, $22,608.27.
There you go.
That would be it. Now, major account, we jumped up into a major category now, $206.80.
Still doesn't make sense.
And we also have the local account, which expends $72.50
All
for
right.
bills. Still, Mill Park Recreation, no expenses there. By the way, they're doing quite a refurbished job over there
On what?
on the mill,
On the mill.
in the mill.
Which of those
Outside of the
accounts
mill.
pays for that?
Well, it has its own account.
Oh, what's
comes
that?
out of- That's called the Mill Park Recreation.
Okay.
That makes sense,
That
right?
makes sense.
Yes, it does. Okay. So anyway, so that was approved also. You got that out of the way. Public comment. Residents had a few questions, but the questions concern items that were going to be on the agenda. So, and those questions.
They were discounted till later.
They were. And one of the questions, which we'll talk about in a little while, is DPW helper. They're going to hire a helper to help,
The DPW.
yeah, Don, and who runs the DPW.
How many people are in the DPW there?
One.
Oh,
So they figured he needs help. His hair turned white overnight, so
Okay.
they have to put him to work. Something with a
so
helper.
you increase the manpower by 100%.
100%, yeah. That's great. Well, you'd think that the budget now can be raised. But that's where, you know, the money for taxes, come in.
Ah, yes.
And, yeah, and they talked about, a state gives each municipality the right to increase the tax up to 12 and a half.
12 mils,
12 and a half mils.
but it's only 6.
Theirs is only 6, and it's been that way for years.
How much is Oxford's?
Oxford's is 11.62, I think, or 10.62, something like that.
And therein lies the gap.
Yeah, well, yeah. But they have, actually, speaking of Oxford, they've actually controlled their expenditures. They've got it under control, have been for a while now. And this has come up in the past, we're going to raise the taxes, and everybody says, where's the pitchforks, where's the fire? We need to have that.
But they
So
already
didn't
did.
do it.
The max is 12, right? And they've got how much?
10.62, I think, or
Oh.
in that category area, a little over 10.
Pushing on the boards in the ceiling.
Yeah, right? Yeah, they are expanding like crazy. But anyway, as we move on along here, another thing was the sidewalk repair was a question that's going to be covered. And brush in the alley. Did you know there's brush in their alley?
I'm not going there.
Okay. There's a bushwhacker and a brush whacker in there, and one or the other. Anyway, that would be in Leonard. New business, amended from the original agenda approval. And they did remove Rochester Hills Historical Society donation to
Removed it.
Yeah, Leonard Mill, because the gentleman that was going to do the presentation or the presentation wasn't there. Something came up, I think, as far as an illness.
Okay.
And couldn't make it. So they've rescheduled it now for the September meeting.
Okay.
Also, one of the groups that we know, OCCTV, was there. There was Bill Service, who's the manager, and Terry Stiles. And what they,
Our production manager.
Yep. And what they came for was to get the Village of Leonard to sign the agreement for PEG fees and for charter fees.
Terry has been carrying the torch for that for a long time.
Yes, and she's been doing a good,
really good job.
Yep.
Of educating people about the difference between franchise and PEG fees, and
A lot of laws and regulations governing that,
you betcha.
So, for a little gal, she does a lot.
Yes, she does.
But that was explained that, for example, franchise fees, the maximum you can go for is 5%. And the maximum you can go for PEG fees is 2%.
Right.
Mr.
But
McDonald.
the 2% is, you might say it's earmarked, because it has to be expended towards capital expenses.
Right.
And we all know that. Okay.
For public education and government. talking about?
The E and the G.
Yeah, right. The Jeep. Yeah. My gosh, you never understand, folks, how long it taught me to teach him what that meant.
Now you know.
Now I know. Yeah. Now it comes back just like a boomerang. Okay, we got it. Anyway, gave a great presentation, I thought, to their village council. Bill presented the basis for what the station does, and the viewers, people that watch it, and residual benefits that every community gains from it. And he talked about scholarships that have been awarded to various students that attend Oxford High. And that's all due to production that we've done for the child that is going to college.
Yeah.
And we used to do that up
A lot
north,
of
too.
a lot of that has to do with sports, but we provide almost a visual resume for that
Yep.
boy or
It
girl.
works out well. I mean, my production company that I had up north, we did that for a number of students, for Central High and others.
That's a very worthwhile service.
Yep, and many of those students, they also won scholarships due to it. It's a great way to do it. So if you like to have your child have a resume put together this way, we do it at OCTV. Anyway, Bill talked about that. Terry talked about the issues that she's been running into as far as the PEG fee contract, that kind of thing, and the charter contract. So
Pretty convoluted process, folks.
yes, very well done. If you folks want to learn more about that, go to our webpage, occtv.org,
That's right.
and click on,
Village of Leonard.
you got it. Okay, and you'll find it out there. Unless he hides it. He's the guy that puts it out
I
there.
will
usually.
not hide it.
Okay, that's good news.
And the other thing is, we don't edit it. Whatever is said is on that OCCTV.org
It is what it is.
show.
And that's good. And it is what it is.
Nothing is cut.
We're going to come back right after this.
Canine Stray Rescue does just that. Rescue stray dogs for new families. But they need your help. Become a volunteer at Canine Stray Rescue League of Michigan. Take dogs for walks, help them socialize with others, and help them get adopted. Fill out an application and help a family add a new member today.
Welcome back to Minutes by Minute. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we are talking about Leonard yet, because there's lots of things that go on in the little town of Leonard. And so let's get back to it, shall we?
Yes.
Okay, little delayed action there. Right, got it. So OCTV gave a pretty good presentation, I thought. Elmwood Division sinkhole repair. They have sinkholes over there. Of course,
No.
you stick a stake in
Giant-
the ground, you get.
Giant 40-yard sinkholes or slightly smaller
Well,
ones?
this is a small one. It was caused by torrential rains that they had during the Strawberry Festival, which the president went out, stuck his hand in there, and he says, "Oh, couldn't reach bottom." He said, "We better do something about it."
Whoa.
So they're going to do that, and to make a very long
Was that on the
short-
street?
Yeah, it's next to a street, on a street, along the curb of the
Oh,
street, near the Elmwood and Division area.
okay.
Okay, so it was agreed that $5,000 would be set aside, and Mr. McDonald would go for 3 bids and see what it costs to do it. And that's what they have in the road fund right now, I guess. And a number of other issues came up, one being the sidewalk. And after a great deal of conversation, it was agreed
Especially if the sinkhole was next to the sidewalk.
it was agreed that it should cost roughly about $5,000, for the sidewalk. They couldn't do it all, because there's several areas of sidewalk that,
Okay.
needs to be repaired and are uneven. But Mr. McDonald said they will try to go as far as he can, and how much money they have appropriated or available. And also, if he was allowed to do 3 bids on what it would cost to repair about 100 feet, 200 feet of sidewalk along there.
Okay.
So that was approved as well.
In any event, it ain't free.
Right, 5,000 I think is what he's working with right now, and he said when it's gone, they'll figure another way to transfer funds, which is usually what they do, isn't it? We do, they do, everybody do, right? Got it. Okay.
No, we do a redo.
We do, yep. They need to appoint a new festival committee chairman for the Strawberry Festival. And Phyllis Rowe has done a great job with it, but she's kind of tied into some other things, also helping the village, so she's not going to disappear. But she felt that another person should be appointed, and that would be Kyle Stapp, S-T-A-P-P. And he agreed to do it. He said, yes, I will, as they untied him from the chair. So anyway, so he's going to be the new chairman. And let me see, people that would like to volunteer, for the next festival coming up, contact the main office and they'll put you in touch. And he'll definitely appreciate it, I'm sure, by the time it's done. It's a tiring experience, but a good experience. So
Maybe a dry day. Who knows?
It's long overdue, right? And that's the good news.
We've got one coming.
Right. Anyway, Mr. McDonald, he said that's good news now because they've got a dry period. So that big pothole or
Sinkhole.
that guy at least isn't filling with water right now. So that's a good thing.
Sinkhole, though, usually implies there's something else underneath.
Yes, or nothing.
Lack of something else underneath.
Right. And actually, Mike is saying it's a lack of something under there. He's just hoping it's not a porcupine or a grizzly bear or something coming out of there. Anyhow, Smart 2020, they get funding, monies per year. And Mike McDonald and the council automatically move that money to what's that other? Oh, not Smart.
NODA.
MDOT.
NODA.
Yeah, NODA. To NODA people. Hey,
Which is allied
you just
with
pulled
Smart.
that right out, didn't you?
Which is allied with Smart.
It is, right. So they customarily take this money from Smart program and give it to them for operational expense,
Okay.
for Leonard. So that's a good thing. They've been doing it every year or whenever they get awarded this money.
Is Leonard part of NODA as a separate thing from Addison?
Yes,
Okay.
yep. They've got to be approved by Addison Township, the villages, and so forth.
Okay.
Yeah, as Oxford Village is as well. Okay, there is a fee also that Mike wanted to bring out, and it's called the Protect Association. It's an organization that watches the right-of-ways. If there's problems with right-of-way,
That has a lot to do with a lot of legislation that's coming in now.
it does. And these people all know laws, regulations, that kind of thing, and what the performance requirements are, same as Terry Stiles does.
That's
Fire
right.
Station.
It's the
Maybe
advent,
not quite as good
the
as
advent
Terry.
of the 5G internet protocol is going to have a big effect.
They will. What do you mean?
What do I mean? What do I mean?
Okay, tell me more.
It may involve a wireless connection to your house rather than a cable coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And that has some implications relative to law and franchise fees. And a lot of those marbles are still rattling around, folks, and we don't know where they're going to settle yet.
Yes, and just to think about this, I believe they're going to put a listening device on so they can listen into your home and know what's going on.
What?
That was something that the left included when they ran it through the Senate. Right?
There was nothing left.
There is not going to be anything left by the time they're done, and they named it right,
The
didn't they?
left?
The left. Yeah, the leftist as unopposed to the rightist. The leftist, the leftmost, and the rightmost. Anyhow, we'll get back to that. Yeah. Let me see, what else have we got here? Old business. There's a planning commission vacancy. And so if you folks feel that you got the fortitude, experience, want to assist Leonard, the planning commission, they have an opening.
Yep.
Contact main office, and I'm sure you might have a great opportunity of working with the village.
The vacancy sign is out?
It is out there.
Okay.
Flashing on and off. 100,000 milliwatts. So anyway, they would like to have you, like Uncle Sam says, we want you. Okay. So anyway, be part of the community if you're not already. Those folks, of course, volunteer for everything. And one of the things that they did volunteer for is when the truck broke down to grade the roads, the residents jumped in with their trucks, their shovels, their rakes, and they got it done.
Wow.
Now, the question is, how much would it cost to hire a company to do this? And the answer came back, roughly $80 an hour, you know. And so they said, well, we'll look at this in the budget. Next go around, we'll see what we can do if we have the funding.
And all they did was give them milk and cookies?
No, that's when the tax
Okay.
statement came up. Yes, we get, our tax is 6 mills. Yeah, harmonize, mills, okay. 6 mills, but, you know, we could raise it to 12.5 mills, you know, according to state regulations.
But there'll be a lot of
Rules,
wrenching of
laws.
hands and gnashing of teeth before they do that.
Right, but they can do that without a vote of the community.
Oh,
Didn't know
Oh.
that, did you?
no, I didn't. I thought that would be like a referendum.
Nope, that wouldn't be it. So be careful, keep your eyes open.
Whoa.
Whoa, yeah. So
That's why you should show up at these meetings.
Yes, yes. And actually, the participant in the audience said, you know, you need to put this on a docket, on a schedule.
A docket?
On a, one of those
Agenda.
things. That one.
I see.
And when you do that, you need to, you know, have a discussion with the population about this as well and see what they think. But the point was, you know, you can only stretch a nickel so far, or a dime. And they're pretty much,
Until you need another dime.
hey, when you drop it in the pit and it echoes back, it's a problem. Right?
No,
Nothing
it's
in
when
there.
there's no echo. That's just a
No echo.
problem.
Yeah, but one little nickel. Well, anyhow, what's coming up?
Nice metaphor.
What do you got there? Holy smokes, I don't see anything.
No, there's hardly anything. Anyhow, on 8/26 at 4 o'clock, the Oxford Area Cable Communications Commission, or the OACCC, will be meeting. That's our parent group.
Again?
Again, they meet every quarter now.
So fast
Unless
time
there's
moves.
something special going on. And they'll be meeting at the Village of Oxford offices. On 9/3 at 7 o'clock, the Village of Oxford Planning Commission will be meeting, and I know you'll love that one.
Yes, I do. All of them.
And that's all I got.
I do. Yeah, that's it. Okay. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
Catch you next time right here on Minutes by Minutes.
See you then. Ta-da.
Vision loss is not something that you feel until it happens.
Most people lose their vision from diseases like macular degeneration and glaucoma, not at birth.
With macular degeneration, you lose your central vision.
You have a blind spot right in the center of your face, so I can't actually see your face.
So even that little circle in which I could see became a big blur.
I was 65 when I first was diagnosed with glaucoma.
There were no symptoms. I had no headaches.
3 million Americans have glaucoma, and half don't even know it.
11 million people in the United States have macular degeneration.
You lose mobility, independence, changes your entire life.
So many eye disorders can be treated if caught early.
My husband tells me that I have beautiful brown eyes, and I don't want to lose that.
Make a plan today to get your eyes checked.
Visit brightfocus.org to learn more.
Welcome to Oxford Community Television. We are proud that our 4 communities continue to choose local programming, local news, sports, community issues, familiar faces, celebrations, and commitment to each other. Welcome to Oxford Community Television.
On Friday, it's Fish Day at the American Legion in Oxford. It runs from noon to 8, and we will have over 300 of our best friends enjoying our fish and our carryout. Sure, we have checked it out, and we have found that we have the best cod and walleye in Michigan. Want dessert? It's all homemade by our auxiliary ladies for just $1. For your vets, we have hats, just $5. On the bar side, here's some of our friends. Hi, everybody. On the museum side, some more friends. Hi again. Where you can check out one of the best military museums in the state. All Friday at the American Legion from noon to 8 at 130 East Drainer Road in Oxford.